Ladies and gents, this improv story is based on the idea man finds hole in cupboard. Let the story commence. There was this guy called Craig, and he just bought a new cupboard off it wasn't eBay, it wasn't Gumtree, it was one of these news sites. One of these ones you see the adverts for in the telly and you're like, that'll never work. One of these ones like a competitor to Gumtree or eBay, and somebody giving it a shot, some new company think they can actually take on I like Spock, some fucking crap like that, right? You don't know what it's all about. Why should I go into you? But this wasn't an ad, this was an advert in the telly. It just sort of popped up. He could remember well, he just saw it in his bookmarks. He's like, how did that get there? Here. Well, it wasn't some stupid plugin that I fucking accidentally installed that put this fucking crap bloatware or adware or whatever the fuck you would call it. Something where. Couldn't remember it. But he clicked on it anyway, and it looked alright. Lots of stuff dirt cheap. If you're not satisfied, if you don't like it, we'll pick it up, we'll collect it. Don't worry about paying for something, not get your money back. We'll give you your money back, then we'll get it off the seller. Don't you worry about it. Seemed really, really secure, really kind of something you could rely on. He's alright, and never heard of this site. Searched for it online, couldn't see anything about it. Maybe it was new. Must be new. So he ordered this cupboard because he needed a cupboard. He just moved into a new flat and he needed this cupboard. He ordered the cupboard. Cupboard arrived. He was a wee bit scared it was going to be a flat pack thing, but it was all fine, fully formed. Magic. He put the cupboard up against the wall. So there we go. Brilliant. Kind of cupboard. It was kind of like a kind of wardrobe sort of thing. It had the big doors at the top, but it never had a rail. It was just like for boxes. It was kind of strange, but he thought maybe that's why it's so cheap. People don't know what is this, a wardrobe? Is it no? Anyway, put up against his wall. Shut the doors. Looked at it. Opened the doors, and there in the back of the cupboard was a hole. But not just any kind of hole. It was a hole that looked through to another room. It looked through, and he's like, is this somehow a mirror? He's like, is this a mirror? Hole was that size. But the size they're kind of one of the wee fit boys. You know, one of the wee ones. The ones you sort of get that kind of keep you uppy sort of way, yeah. Wait a minute. He could see another bedroom. To begin with, he thought, was that a mirror? He's like, no, because that's no... Don't know if you can hear the rain there, by the way. He's like, that's no my room. The fuck's that? He's like... He saw a guy walk into the room. He looked behind him, still thinking, is it a reflection? Nobody there. This isn't your room. This isn't your room. It was his next door neighbour. He was somehow able to see into the next door neighbour's room by putting this cupboard up against the wall. Right away, he fucking shut the cupboard door. He thought, oh no, what's happened? Is my neighbour, who was called John, when I shut the cupboard door, is this John going to see a fucking hole in the wall and go, what the fuck is this? And then he's going to like put his hand through it, and like there's a hand going to come out the fucking cupboard, and John's going to be like, here, you fucking doing, man? Shine it. Craig pulled the cupboard away from the wall, trying not to make any noise, and looked behind the cupboard. There was no hole in the wall. There was no hole in the back of the cupboard either. Right. I'm losing the plot here. I'm going to look at that again. He dragged the cupboard out of the other wall that faced his living room. It was the other side was his own living room. He opened the cupboard and he looked through the hole, and then he could see his own living room. Right, that confirmed it. This cupboard, when looked through the front doors, had a hole at the back that enabled you to look through a wall. Whatever wall it was up against. Is the person able on the other side to see the hole though? That is not confirmed. I've got an idea. He phoned some of his mates. He says, listen, boys, I've got an idea. Now you listening? Right. I'm about to show you something here, and it's going to blow your mind. Watch. So he asked his pal, Jamesy, to go to the living room. Jamesy, you stay there. And he said to his other pal, Gary, watch this. Jamesy came through and went, what is it? Craig says, James, go through to the living room again, mate. Gary, you stay on this side in my bedroom. Jamesy's through in the living room. Gary's on his side. Gary, watch this. Craig opened the cupboard door, the one that's up against the wall, the other side of which is the living room. And Gary and Craig could see through the hole, and there was fucking Jamesy. There was Jamesy at the other side. And Jamesy was picking his nose and eating it. This is how we could prove that he didn't know that he was being watched. He was picking his nose and eating it. He put his finger up his arse, like right up, scratched his arsehole like that. You could see he put it right down the back of his trousers, scratched it in it like that. Like he pulled like dangleberries. Like that. Right. And Craig and Gary went like, hey! Hey! Jamesy went like that, looking towards the general area where the hole was, because that's what he could hear. But he didn't go like that. He didn't see the hole. And Craig kind of hid his disgust for a wee second. He just sort of put that to the back of his mind about that. Here. Jamesy, I am coming. No, wait there. Can you see us? What? Looking about. Where? What? Here. And he put his horn through the fucking hole. He put his horn through. He's like, oh, that's right. I've not even thought about this. He put his horn through the hole. Craig put his horn through the hole of the cupboard, back of the cupboard, and went, can you see us? Can you see this? Jamesy looked straight towards Runabout, that kind of area, right way. See what? For Craig, that was it. He's like, right, nothing. One back through. Jamesy came back through. Craig went like, James, you can go home now. How? What? What is it? You can go home now, mate. It's fine. How? Alright, I'll see you later. See you later. No, I'm not shaking any. We saw you picking your arse, smelling it and eating it. You can go now. How? Have you got cameras? Have you got cameras in here? No, it's this cupboard. We can see through. Gary went like that. Shh, don't tell him. He's no in it. That's right, you're no in it. You go now. He wouldn't go, so they knocked fuck at him. Ended up killing him. They didn't know what to do with the body, so they thought, here, you know what to do? Let's see this. They pulled the cupboard air. See, this is a big change of plan. Craig was planning on taking the cupboard to like maybe a bank and putting it up against the wall of the bank, and then seeing if they could put their horn in and, like, you know, get some money. Change of plan. Craig and Gary dragged the cupboard against the wall of the neighbour, and they started sawing through Jamie's body, and they pushed his body parts through the hole. They dropped an airman, they dropped another airman, then the other leg. They had to cut the head in half right down the middle. Afterwards they thought it would have been actually better to cut it in half that way because of the jaw. Doesn't matter. They put it all the way through, pulled his ribs apart one rib at a time. Put the guts through. A whole lot of the other side. Then they pulled the cupboard away, looked at the wall, no hole in the wall, phoned the police. Hello, 999, 999, is that you? Our pal Jamie was meant to come up and see us, but we heard our next door neighbour. I heard my next door neighbour say, come on in here instead. And he went in there, and then I heard an argument, and then I heard somebody using a saw, and I was screaming, any chance you can check up on them? 2 minutes later, police turned up. You heard a big fucking fight and all that. Cunt got dragged away. Then he chapped on Craig's door, asked some questions. How is he? Is he alright? He's been chopped up, son. Thought I'd tell you the truth. Your pal's been hacked to bits. Oh my God, who did it? Your next door neighbour. Are you sure? Fucking body's lying there, son. Open his shut case. You'll never see the light of day again. You'll die. Die in there. So Craig went like that. Fucking yes. So Craig went like that to Gary. Right, listen. Let's do the bank thing now. This works. So they carried the cupboard down the stairs. Then they carried it all the way out of the bank. And they waited until nobody was in the bank. Like 5 o'clock. Gave them about an hour to sort of like leave and lock up and all that. Gave it another hour. And then another hour. Then they put the cupboard up against the wall outside the bank. They opened the door, and through the hole was tons of fucking money. And they just started sticking their fucking horn in and dragging all the fucking money out. Just then, a policeman came here. I went, what's going on here? Nothing. Let me see inside that cupboard. How? What you was up to? What do you mean what we up to? Show us. They opened the cupboard door, the police went, there's a fucking hole. Here. Just then, Craig and Gary went like that. Bang, man. Right on the fucking police's nose like that. Bang. Right on the top of it. right? I mean, I'm leaning there like that because of this fucking mic, right? But they went like that. Fucking Gary was a boxer, right? And Gary jumped up in the air and the gravity came down. Bang, man. Cracked all the bones in his front of his face, man. His face was hanging off like a fucking boss sack, man. Like a scrotum. All the bones were there like that. He gave it a twist, pulled the fucking jaw off, pulled all that off, and shoved it through the hole. The next day, they reported that the bank had been robbed, and somehow there was like a kind of stubbly scrotum of like jawbone and nose bone in its place, in the place of the money. And they were trying to work out who would have done that. And see, because they got it in their head that, see, whoever robbed the bank, they replaced the money with what they believed to be something of equal worth. And see, because of that, see this kind of scrotum with the jaw face kind of scrotum, it became like priceless. And it then became like like gold. It became like, this is, you know how they had that thing that this is what a kilogram is? Kilogram of steel, kilogram of feathers, no. You know, they think this is what a kilogram is. That then became like whatever it was based on, money and all that. The jaw ended up, the scrotum face ended up becoming more valuable than money. So Craig and Gary started like trying to fucking get it back. They tried robbing it back. They couldn't do it, man. They couldn't do it, man. No, in all the years they tried, man, they couldn't do it here. The end.